Caroline Reed, she's an excellent resource for all things
amazing.
theme park, but especially actually out there in the Middle East and Disneyland Paris. She has a fondness for the place, I do believe, and she knows it quite well. Actually better than anybody I actually know in the theme park industry currently. Yeah. But this headline definitely caught my attention. Here you go from Forbes. Caroline Reed, of course. Disneyland Paris reveals 45% fall in profits driven by 30-year-old deal. Goodness gracious, October 26, 2025. There's a lot of history when it comes to this specific theme park operation. But I want to go ahead and focus on this paragraph right here. Let me see if I have it. As the reporter revealed in the Times of London, EDA's or Euro Disneyland, latest financial statements show that its net profit plummeted 45% to $98.2 million in the year to 30th of September 2024, despite its revenue rising 7.4% to a record $3.5 billion or 3.1 billion euros. Following the reopening of its palatial pink flagship hotel, Disneyland Hotel reopened in January last year with prices hitting $12,000 per night for the Frozen-inspired Royal Suite. Ooh, that is quite a bit right there. And here's the thing, folks. This comes at a time, and the financials and economics of Disneyland Paris are very, very complex. But the main takeaway here is that Disneyland Paris has only hit profitability, I think, once or maybe a couple times in the last 30 years that it's been open. Basically, it hasn't been all that great for the Mouse House over there in the European sector right there. So the Disney company decided, okay, look, we're going to make this work here. Instead of the Walt Disney Studios Park, we're going to name it Disney Adventure World, and we're going to spend $2.1 billion on 3 new additions. At the time, it was Avengers Campus, Frozen, and Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was dropped from that 3 expansion plan, and in its place, well, we found out recently it's going to be The Lion King. My question to you guys is, can this resort finally be turned around with $2.1 billion or so worth of investment here? I understand Frozen's a truncated version of even what Hong Kong got, which is very sad. Lion King, it's long in the tooth property, but it is going to be a log flume ride. And you have Avengers Campus, which didn't really feature a big new ride. But what do you think about all this? Can they turn it around finally in Disneyland Paris?
No. It's no. Look at the competition. You've got Europa Park. You've got Universal coming to the UK. France and Paris are not in the best living conditions right now as far as the people that actually have to reside there. And this destination is not the most sought after destination for Americans to go to. So this park has always been flawed since the very beginning. I don't know that it was ever the best place to put a Disney park. You look at Tokyo, for example, completely the opposite end of the spectrum. Huge fan base over there, and then also their prices much more economical. And I don't know, as far as a Disney fan, this park has always been kind of almost the last on my list. Maybe this in Hong Kong, like a juggle between two. If I had a whole bunch of money, I know it's odd, but I'd actually prefer to visit the Shanghai park because I just want to see the castle over there. It's supposed to be this massive giant castle. Interesting thing. I know there's a dragon underneath this one, but there's also a dragon at the top of the company right now. So I don't see how that makes a difference.
That's very true. Culture, I want to go to you here. I mean, Harrison Buzz Price, he was the famous, well, I guess I'm Imagineer, but he was the kind of the gentleman with CV Wood back in the day as part of SLI that was able to locate Disneyland back in 1955 for its construction right there, right along I-5. And he brought a lot of great advancements to the industry in the form of providing knowledge and resources to theme park proprietors, not just Disney, but to those in the industry all over the world to drop theme parks. To his dying day, he was like, they should never have built in Paris. They should have built in Spain. Culture, is it just the market? I mean, can they turn this around at all?
The economics for where they place this park don't work. They didn't work back then. They don't work now. And they work even less now because of the turmoil that is Paris. France is in the worst stretch of its existence in modern history. And it's because they have terrible leadership that are, still trying to satisfy a different entity, not their own people, but some kind of globalist priority list. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work so much that a lot of people are calling it out here. In our country, that even the presence of some of these ideas and situations and the push to the green stuff is being abandoned even by the people that are promoting it. For example, let's say Bill Gates recently came out and flipped on the idea of all these green ideas and stuff. Of course, he's only doing that because, right now we're seeing electric rates across the globe go up at such an accelerated rate. And that's because of AI. They need all these data centers. So let's build more power plants is kind of Gates's new thing. But anyway, we'll step away from that. But there's also a political situation over there right now that's a powder keg. So Americans aren't, ready to get on a plane. I mean, Ron's an example. This would be my last park to visit on the planet. And that's saying something. I'd rather go to Shanghai. I'd rather go to Hong Kong than I would go to, here. First of all, there are other parks in those locations that are appealing. Spain was a natural, ideal location. And you know what? Universal is going to take advantage of that. And the Europa Park and everything else. Spain's a great place to put stuff, and they're a little political wishy-washy, but they have a better economic outlook than France does, and that's the whole situation. So
weather's way better for sure.
Yeah, and you've got great weather, you got wonderful location. There's other reasons for people to vacation in Spain. Ibiza was one of my favorite, but
Wine.
I'm just gonna say. Yeah, well, Ibiza is awesome, but and look, when you look at just the economics of it all, it was just a very bad decision to begin with, and they got rid of the lady who actually made Paris Disney somewhat close to profitable fairly regularly. So they got rid of the one person who could do that.
Yes, I think I think I know who you're talking about right there. It's the financial structure for this park is just so crazy. I mean, like, they overbuilt it. Let's just be honest about that. To have that many resorts for a park that was on a train line to Paris was just insane. You could be staying at some of the most popular and luxurious accommodations on the planet, and yet they wanted to build 5 to 7 resorts right from jump. That was a bad move right there. It's not a hospitable location at all. The locals have not embraced it, and now with subsequent generations, that's changing just a little bit right there, but you just have a lot of problems, and Disney has bought in almost fully. Ron, Lion King, Marvel, Frozen. At least those franchises, right? You install them, it can get some attendance. You think?
I don't know. There's a word that comes to mind in French that in English would begin with the letter M, but I don't think I can even say that on the stream.
Oh boy,
it's look, I mean, I'm glad they're doing improvements, and if I ever have oodles of money and way more than enough that I'll ever need, then we'll go over there. But but it's not even really on my bucket list because there's so much more that can be seen even here in the United States. I don't really care about the world of Frozen. I'll go to Tokyo and watch the Tangled. Well, no, I'll go the Tangled route first. Although I do think that they should probably just combine Frozen and Lion King, because in Paris winters, that's what's going to happen anyway.
Yes, that's very true. I don't know how that's going to work, by the way. It's pretty extreme. Look, Disneyland Paris, I will say, as far as the castle park goes, and some of its attractions are I've heard it's very best in the world right there. The park is absolutely gorgeous. Walt Disney Studios Park, now Disney Adventure World, was basically a park built to maintain the land holding so that they didn't lose it, because they had to build a park within a certain number of years or else they would lose that. Remember, they lost in Hong Kong. They didn't want to do that in Paris back in Michael Eisner's day, but they put the cheapest thing up that they possibly could in order to retain that land. Now they're spending big money in order to redo that, a la 2012 DCA, which, hey, you know what? I mean, it could be something. It worked out there in Anaheim. I just don't know if they're going to get the same returns in Paris, especially with the franchise was chosen and the quality of set attractions. Frozen's not going to be the deluxe version of Tokyo got. It's going to be a reduced version of what Hong Kong got. We already know Adventures Campus is not great at all. And Lion King, a water ride in Paris, northern France, where it freezes. I don't know how well it's going to work out.
I wonder why they didn't do Tiana over there.
Isn't that interesting, Ron? Isn't that interesting? We'll have to see how it all shakes out.
No.
We'll keep everybody. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say Tiana is going to end up being the perfect lesson for history and why you never base a theme park ride on a current political environment. It's just it's going to wash out that way.
Well, it's not even that, Ron. It's don't get rid of something that works so well for a ride made in the political environment.
Yeah,
it's
that was
terrible.
part of it. It's part of it.
That's true. That's true.
It's so sad, and that all comes down to what's gonna. I don't know about the politics of it, but I just don't think that Paris is going to survive. I mean, it'll survive. It's. I don't see it ever becoming profitable.
Right. It's just never going to be, I think, the profit center that they originally envisioned when they built a park in Europe. But we'll see. We'll keep everybody up to date on these theme park expansions and more as soon as they open in Disneyland. Betty.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.